As we know, all animals depend upon plants for their food, and plants in turn take the nutrients from the environment for synthesis of food. Plants need carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and other elements for normal growth and functioning. Plants take carbon from the atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide and absorb it through the leaves. Plants absorb water through the roots, whereas for nitrogen, plants cannot use directly the atmospheric nitrogen, though it is present in abundant amount. This atmospheric nitrogen needs to be converted into some other nitrogenous compounds that can be readily assimilated by the plants. This process of conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia or other nitrogenous compounds that can be easily absorbed and assimilated by the plants is called nitrogen fixation. The nitrogen fixation is done by many nitrogen fixing bacteria and blue-green algae. These organisms produce enzyme nitrogenase that catalyzes the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. These converted nitrogenous compounds are easily absorbed and assimilated by the plants to produce nitrogenous biomolecules. The nitrogen fixing bacteria may be free living in the soil, or in many cases they form associations with other plants and derive nutrition from the plant, and in turn it provides fixed nitrogen compounds to the plant. Nitrogen is very important for the normal functioning of the organisms because it is the major component of chlorophyll, proteins, nucleic acids, and many other important biomolecules. We see many examples where nitrogen fixing bacteria and cyanobacteria, they form associations with other plants. Here we see rhizobium bacteria forms associations with the roots of leguminous plants, and in this association root nodules develop. The bacteria resides inside the root nodules and fixes nitrogen for the plant, and in turn it gets food. In another example, we see Ozola plant living in association with Anabina. Anabina fixes nitrogen compound. This Azola plant grows in paddy fields and enriches the soil with nitrogen compounds, and thus increasing the fertility of the soil. Now we will discuss nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen in atmosphere is in gaseous form, is inert and diatomic molecule. It is first converted by nitrogen fixing bacteria in the soil into ammonia. Nitrogen fixing bacteria with the help of enzyme nitrogenase convert and catalyze the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, and this is nitrogen fixation. A small amount of nitrogen is also fixed when there is lightning and thundering in the atmosphere. This ammonia is then converted by some other nitrifying bacteria present in the soil into nitrites and nitrates, and that are readily absorbed by the plants, and plants assimilate this nitrate to produce nitrogenous biomolecules. In this way, plants and animals utilize the nitrogen fixed by the microorganisms, and on the death of plants and animals, these fixed nitrogen is converted by soil bacteria, denitrifying bacteria, and thus releasing N2 gas, nitrogen, again into the atmosphere. Thus in this way nitrogen is cycled between the biotic and abiotic components of living organisms with the help of nitrogen fixing bacteria.